Hi, we're kicking this off. This is a Revenue Leaders Podcast, episode 1. It's been a while to get this going. I've been uber distracted with other things, but I'm going to be working to get episodes posted, both with myself on various different topics, and then, of course, interviewing people as I go and as I build it. But something popped up today, and I thought it'd be good for an episode. I wanted to kind of tackle this issue of A players, bringing talented people on board and how important that actually is to success. Something happened with us this week, and it kind of reminded me to go back to this one note that I wrote for myself. And I'm going to read this quote right here from Steve Jobs because I like it and it stands out. He said, "I noticed that the dynamic range between what an average person could accomplish and what the best person could accomplish was 50 or 100 to 1. Given that, you're well advised to go after the cream of the cream. A small team of A-plus players can run circles around a giant team of B and C players." I've found that to be true. I've written various different notes over the years for myself. And one of the notes was that I strongly feel that C and D level players make things feel hard and efforty, and the apparency of whatever it is they're doing, the task that they're doing, the apparency is that when they're doing it, it looks as if it's super hard. And after a while, when you deal with a C player or D player, you start looking at the area and think, wow, geez, maybe it is hard. Wow, I don't know what's, let's try and figure out that area. But really, it's really that player. And I know that's kind of harsh, but that is the reality of it. And the truth is, you really need to replace that player. When you take school, for example, and you look at somebody who is not strong at math, right? For them, you can just see the effort in their face. You can see them thinking super hard about that equation. Like they're trying to figure out that equation, and maybe they get it, or maybe they write something down, or they don't get it at all, and then they move on to the next question. It's very, very difficult to them. I'm sure you've either experienced that yourself or have seen other people go through that. Whereas somebody who's talented at doing math it's easy. It's a breeze to them. You see them just flawlessly do the equation, work it out, come up with a solution, go, and move on to the next one. The difference is that one person's a C player and the other person's an A player. To the A player, it's just easy. They just get it and get it done. You want to put A players in the right spot in your company. And the truth is, somebody could be a C player in one role, but be an A player in another role. So it's also important to make sure that you find the right roles for people. And it doesn't necessarily mean firing somebody who's a C player. It could mean that you transfer that C player over to a different area where they're going to be an A player. But it's very important to build an entire org chart of A players. I mean, it's crucial to success. And the truth is that A players want to play with other A players. If you've ever played sports, you know that it's very frustrating to have a team of mostly A players, but if you have four A players on the field and one C player, it's frustrating for the 4 A players to play with the C players. So it's very important to push your culture. It's very important to only have A players. It's very important to build a culture that helps people become A players if they're not quite there as well. And then it's important to kind of cut people and have them move on. If it's not a right fit for them, if they can't be an A player in your organization, cut them loose so maybe they could be an A player somewhere else. It's definitely a good wake-up call for people as well. But I've seen it over and over again, and we've had points sometimes where in the company it feels efforty, it feels difficult, and it feels kind of slow, and you kind of look around and you think, what is happening here? What is going on? And you eventually, if you're smart, you eventually come to the conclusion that you've got an A player or you got a C player on board, or a couple C players, and those people will make things seem hard, and they'll convince other people that it's hard, and it'll start to stick the overall flows of the organization. It'll start to slow down your progress. So you either handle those people or you cut those people and get them out. And the second you do that, things will get back on track. People start winning. You start scoring goals. You start winning sales. You start, it just opens up the flows and you start doing better. And things don't seem so hard anymore. And then go find some other players. Find some fresh talent that are A players that can solve those equations quickly. They can move the needle. They can make things happen. It makes a big, big difference. Certainly with your sanity. Certainly with the morale. Certainly with the culture. It's critical to have a team of A players. There's another quote that I read from a book called Team of Teams, and he said the Navy SEALs isn't about building superhumans; it's about building super teams. So, in other words, superhuman teams, and that's really what you're going after. You're looking for not just A players to individuate, but you're looking to build A players that form A teams. And that's really where you see the difference. That's when you look throughout history of looking at Navy SEALs and looking at, the 1992 Dream Team. You look at Cirque du Soleil, and you look at the Patriots. Sorry if I offend anybody who's not a Patriot fan. I'm a Patriot fan. But you look at great sports teams. You look at any great sports team. It's usually not one player. It's a team of A players. So. Can't stress that enough. It comes up from time to time. If you're dealing with difficulties, things aren't going your way. They're not going as fast as you like. Things seem hard or efforty. Look around. Try and find those C players. Find the people who are making things hard. Find the people who are making things efforty, and either handle them or get them out. And it's gonna free things up for you. So. That's the thing I wanted to cover. I'm going to have more coming at you soon. Apologize for being behind on the podcast. I'm going to be interviewing some great guests coming up, and work to get some consistency here with the podcast. So if you have suggestions on the episode, on future episodes, on future guests and things like that, by all means, shoot an email over to robert@richter10.2.com, and would love to see the input. Okay. Thanks.